In the small town of Willowbrook, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, lived a woman named Margaret. She was a widow, known for her kindness and unwavering faith in God. No matter how hard life became, she always said, "God will provide." But times had grown difficult. Winter had arrived early, harsher than ever before. Margaret's small bakery, her only source of income, had suffered because people barely had money to buy bread. With each passing day, her flour supply dwindled, and the firewood pile grew smaller. One evening, as the snow piled up outside, Margaret sat by the fireplace, staring at the last candle on her table. The oil lamp had run dry, and this single candle was all she had left for light. She whispered a prayer, "Lord, I trust you. Even in darkness, you are my light." Her hands trembled as she counted her last few coins. Not enough to buy more flour. Not enough for firewood. Just enough for a small meal, if she was careful. Still, she refused to worry. She had seen miracles before. The next morning, she bundled up and went to the town square. Snow crunched under her worn boots as she reached the small market. She exchanged her last few coins for a small bag of flour. As she turned to leave, she saw a young boy sitting on the steps of the church, shivering. His clothes were thin, his face pale. Margaret knelt beside him. "Are you all right, dear?" The boy shook his head. "I'm cold, and hungry." She looked at the small bag of flour in her hands. It was barely enough for her, but something in her heart told her what to do. She handed it to the boy. "Take this. Go home and ask your mother to make something warm." The boy's eyes widened. "But what about you?" Margaret smiled gently. "God will provide for me." She walked home, her heart full of peace despite her empty hands. That night, she lit her last candle and prayed, "Lord, I gave what I had. I trust that you will take care of me." As the candle flickered, a knock came at the door. Margaret opened it to find Mr. Benson, the town miller. "I heard what you did for the boy today," he said, stepping inside. "His mother came to thank me, thinking I sent the flour. When I found out it was you, I knew I had to come." Margaret looked at him in surprise. "Oh, it was nothing, Mr. Benson shook his head. "It was everything. You see, I had extra flour this season, and I've been praying for someone to share it with." He placed a large sack of flour by the fireplace. "This is for you, and I'll bring more when you need it." Tears filled Margaret's eyes. "Thank you, but I must thank God first." That night, as her last candle burned low, Margaret understood what faith truly meant. She had given without fear, believing that God would take care of her. And he had. The candle went out, but her heart was filled with a light that would never fade. Faith in God is not about having abundance but trusting that He will provide, even in times of scarcity. Acts of kindness and selflessness are always rewarded in unexpected ways, and true wealth lies in a heart full of gratitude and faith.